two specific things. In this video, we're going to cover two specific things. One very important, another one is more of kind of a nice to know. Now, the important part is we're going to talk about what is called lot size. It's literally the amount of money you're going to bid, and you're going to earn that amount of money or lose that amount of money per what's called movement of the price. The movement is called a pip. Now, we can call it a tick. We can call it a point of movement. Those aren't exactly technically correct. But as the price ticks up, you see the line up here. As the price ticks up, the price ticks down. Every tick is a pip. And we can measure those pips and multiply them by the amount of money we bid. Let me give you a simple example. If I bid $1 and the price moves 10 pips in my direction, let's say I did a buy order and I bid $1 and it moves up 10 pips, I just made $10. If I do a buy order and the price moves down 10 pips, I'm in the negative $10. Now, it's an unrealized loss. That is called drawdown. You'll see us actually doing that. So I don't want to get too far into the weeds. You'll actually see the positive, the profits, or the drawdown, which is a temporary loss. It's only a loss if you actually close the trade at a loss. It's not really a loss until you end and close the trade. So I'm getting a little far ahead of myself here. I want to show you the one thing that is just kind of a nice to know type of thing. As we look at the chart here, I'm going to show you the crosshair, and I'm going to show you how to measure on the screen what amount of movement equals what number of pips. Pips is just the tick of the price going up or down. Now, we'll practice this quite a bit more, but you'll also find that this is not necessarily something you need to know. You get into the trade, it goes into profit, you get out at the amount of profit that is realistic that you want to make, or you get out when the price starts going against you. Let me use the screen here as an example. Let's say I'm going to put my crosshairs on the screen. And in fact, let's talk real quick on how I'm doing that. The crosshair, I can choose from the menu up here, and then I just get a crosshair on my mouse. Or I have one of those spin wheels on my mouse where I can spin the screen up and down. If I click that wheel, it pulls up the crosshair. It just makes it a little bit easier than going up to the menu and clicking the crosshair. How do I get rid of the crosshair? I simply just click the left mouse button and it's gone. Now, what we do is we turn the crosshair on, and then if we drag it, if I click and hold the mouse and drag it across the screen, I get this measurement line. So I can measure all kinds of things, basically 3 things, and it's the thing in the middle that we're going to look at. So again, I'm going to click my mouse wheel button and put the crosshair on the screen, and then I click to get rid of it, or I can pull it out of the menu above here and it's on my mouse. And then what I want to do is I want to measure this really long green candle here, and I'm going to measure it from the absolute tip at the bottom. I'm going to click my mouse and drag it up to the top here, and you're going to see some numbers. Now I want to move it off the screen here, so kind of off into the clear. So let's say I'm measuring this distance. Again, I still got my mouse clicked down. I'm holding on to it. If I let go, it goes away. So if I click my mouse wheel again, I have the crosshairs, and then I click and hold my mouse, I can measure. I want you to see if I'm measuring from that area to this area up here, let's say, I have some numbers. So I'll zoom in here. The very first number is 38. That means I am measuring 38 candles ahead. Now we're on the 1 hour chart. If you see that up here, we're on the 1 hour chart. That means I'm measuring 39, and in this case, 40 hours ahead. Now, the middle number is what we're focused on. 742 is measured in points. Points converted to pips is divided by 10. I don't want to get crazy geeked out here, but 742 means 74.2 pips. 742 points divided by 10 is 74.2 pips. It is not always that way if you are on what's called an index, and we'll go look at that in a minute here. The points are quite a bit different. They're divided by 100, not divided by 10. So you'll get so used to this. I'm looking at the AUD USD. If you look at it in the upper left-hand corner here, I'm looking at it. That's a standard currency pair, and there's 28 different currency pairs that are really generally called standard. But nonetheless, put my crosshair on the screen here. I'm going to measure from here all the way up to here. And at this point, it's 56 candles, 155.8 pips. 1558 in the middle. Those are points divided by 10. That gives me 155.8 pips. So let's call it 155 pips. If I bid $1 down here, where I measured, if I bid $1 down here and it goes up 155 pips, I made $155. It's as simple as that. If I bid 10 cents times 155, I just made $15.50. If I bid $10 and the price moves 155 pips, $10 times 155 is $1,550. So what's cool here in this movement that we're looking at, this is on the 1 hour chart, 150 some pips, it really is dependent on how much I bid. If I bid 10 cents, I didn't make a lot, 15 bucks. If I bid $10, I made $1,500. Same movement, same time frame, same pricing, all of that stuff. So the more you bid, the more you make. Now, the more you bid, when the price goes completely against you, like for example, if you did a sell order right here, it would go against you. If you bid $10, it would go against you $1,550. And if you didn't want to lose that much, you'd have to get out and take that as a loss. Now, before we end, I'm going to go ahead and do what I said. We're going to go look at, instead of a standard currency pair that we're looking at here, which is AUD USD, I'm going to go look at an index. An index would be something like US 30. So I'm going to open up the Market Watch here, and I'm going to scroll down and look for US 30. It's right here. I'm going to go ahead and right click and open the chart window. I'll go ahead and add my template. And what I want to do is I want to measure this, because what's interesting is this is, when you look at pips, this is actually laid out in points, and you have to do some math to divide it into pips, just like we did, 742 points on a regular currency pair with 74.2 pips. However, it's different here. So let's do a measurement. I'm just going to measure from here over to here on the screen so we can see it. So obviously I've moved 41 candles. We're on the 1 hour chart, but that number in the middle is a heck of a lot bigger than it was on a standard currency pair. So in this case, it's 35,170. Now I know that's 351 pips. So 35,000, let's call it 35,200. So 35,200, 35,300 in this case, divided by 100 is 353.04 pips. It's different on an index. We will be trading an index because it moves really fast. We'll talk more about that, but it moves really fast. We can get a lot of testing done, and in the real world, with real money on the US 30, you're going to make a lot of money. So this basically 5-digit number, 35,304, is divided by 100 instead of 10. Whenever you see a 5-digit like that, instead of a 3-digit, it's divided by 100. So it's very easy for me to just literally click the mouse, move it over this direction. We'll put it right here. And 5884, I know that's 58.8 pips. Obviously not very much movement there because I'm dragging it sideways. But if I drag it from down here up, 48,719 points divided by 100, that is 487.19 pips. Call it 487. So at that point, if we bid $1 and it moved 487 pips, we made $487. Again, I don't want to get too caught up in that because you'll get to see this in the real world, but I do want you to understand the differences, the measurements, and of course, we will talk about lot size. So now you can see the difference in measurement between dividing a standard currency pair points and then an index, which is US 30. It's called an index because it's not a currency pair, yet it still is traded in the forex market. And again, we're going to trade US 30. So that's it for that. And next we can talk about lot size. So I don't want to get too caught up in it, but let's go talk about bid amounts, or what's called lot size. We're not actually going to measure a lot, but I want you to see visually you can do that. We can put the crosshairs on here, hold the mouse, click and drag, and I can see how many pips at any point, like right there, 154.8 pips. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. Now let's actually go talk about lot size or bid size. So let's just look at what is considered lot size amounts. Obviously 0.01 when we bid this, and it will make a lot more sense in the next video because we're actually going to open up the control panel, the trading panel, and do a few real quick test trades. But 0.01, if I enter a buy, I have bid 10 cents per pip. That's it. 0.01 is 10 cents. That's the lowest you can bid. The next increment is 0.1. or $1. Now, 0.02 is 20 cents. 0.03 is 30 cents. 0.05 is 50 cents. 0.1 is $1. 0.2 is $2. 0.3 is $3. 0.11 is $1.10. So it's just real simple, straightforward, linear concept. So 1.0 is $10 per pip. So I have an example here. 2.50 lot size is $25 per pip. So if it moved 4 pips, you made $100 if you bid 2.5 lot size. The next size, 10.0, or that's $100 per pip. And then finally, the highest is 100.0 or $1,000 per pip. And then of course, anything in between these increments. But the more that you do this, the more you just know what the factor is. 0.01 is 10 cents, 0.1 is $1. If I want to bid $5, I bid 0.50. Pretty simple. If I want to bid $50, I bid 5.0. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to give you a general idea of this. We don't have to go too far in because as we start trading, you'll just see that we'll do a bid amount. We'll watch the price move. We'll get out at profit, or we'll get out and take a loss. And frankly, the best thing that works here is just practicing this and doing a lot of test trading and demo trading like we're going to do. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.